Hey, it's Aaron, and it's time to get back into the news roundups. I quit doing these around the holidays, and it's news in automotive is usually really slow from somewhere around mid-December to about mid-January. So there really just wasn't enough to really keep going with these. And then I also looking at traffic numbers and other things, I decided not to keep doing the news roundups on Car News Cafe. So I'm just going to do these videos instead, and I will post the videos on Car News Cafe if you want to look for them there, or just subscribe down below. So let's kind of get caught up with what's happening in automotive. I've done a few videos that you can, I'll try to link them, but you can go find them here on the channel, talking about the Trump administration takeover and what that probably means for automotive in the near future, and a few other things about trends that have happened, roundups of what went on in 2024, that sort of thing. So let's get into news. First item here is the Acura EV. They're going to bring back the RSX nameplate, and it's going to be part of their performance brand lineup, of course. I'm just reading the headline to you now, so I don't know why I'm... Anyway, so this is pretty cool. So here's the visual on that car, if you want to have a see. So pretty cool. It looks like another coupe SUV. For some reason, these are popular. I feel like they're way more popular in Europe because I don't really like this look, and going by the number of them I see on the road, neither do most other Americans. Anyway, next up is Subaru. Subaru has announced a new 2026 Crosstrek hybrid, which will have Subaru's next-gen hybrid powertrain. This is a series parallel. Where have we seen this? The 2.5 liter. This, I just can't put my thumb on where we've seen this before. Venza. That's where we saw it. And then the replacement for the Venza, which is the oh, it has a weird name. Anyway, I'll think of it and put it on the screen. So for visual on this, here you go. Not a whole lot of exterior changes that I can see there. I love those wheels though. Those are diggity right there. So yeah, that's our next one. Let's go to Honda, I think is next. All right, Honda has a bunch of off-road stuff to talk about, specifically their new UTVs. So this is the Talon, and what's the name of the other one? I forget. 4Trax. So yeah, really, really cool. These are, I think, all new for this year. Yeah, return of the all new. Okay, so 7 Talon trims going to be available. There will be 2-seat and 4-seat, and just lots of good stuff. There you go with the general info. You can pause it at any point to see it. For visual, here's what it will look like. Honda has a slightly different approach to their UTVs versus the kind of bigger companies doing this, like Polaris and Can-Am. Can-Am goes for a more squat, lower, kind of tougher look, more sinister, whereas Polaris kind of goes for a more powerful look. So they're looking to look a little more powerful. I really dig how big the gaps in the wheel wells are, though. They really lifted those fenders up and made a huge opening there. That looks really cool. And then it looks like the visibility in this is going to be awesome. So I don't know if I'm going to get to drive one. I'd really like to. I drive Polaris and Can-Am all the time, and I'm trying to get into that Honda thing. Working on it. Next up, I'm going to go to Auto Guide. And look at this. Auto Guide kind of got a scoop here. So kudos to Michael there. where the Ram CEO seemed to make it pretty dang clear that they need to have a smaller truck. And I mean, he said it right out. We need a compact or mid-sized truck. I totally agree with that. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. It would really make sense. And now that they have the REV's powertrain, the range extended electric vehicle setup, they could totally do it with this and blow the market apart. Another option that they would have is to use the Pacifica's plug-in hybrid setup. It'll be a question of how reliable that can be. So the Pacifica has not had a good reputation for reliability, and that's a big issue. That plug-in hybrid model and all of its issues have dragged the Chrysler brand down a lot in terms of reliability. So I would love to see Ram do something creative with this, not just shove another compact truck or mid-sized truck onto the market and say, look, it's a Ram, so it's competitive. They really should do something cool. I really hope it has to do with powertrain. They could go one way or the other. They could go to that efficient side, or they could run all the way over to Dodge and say, SRT the hell out of this thing. Either way is fine with me. So yeah, I'd really like to see something happen here. I think with the RHO platform, they also have sort of an option to work with here, but they need to be doing it. And the fact that they're not is something that their CEO has pointed out, and that I totally agree with, is a huge misstep on their part. All right, next up we go over to Cadillac. The 2026 Lyriq V is basically the V treatment, so the Cadillac Speedster treatment to the Lyriq, which is an all-electric vehicle. This is going to be 615 horsepower, 3.3 seconds 0 to 60. That's nuts. And they gave us some visuals, but they're mostly interiors, which are not what I want. So let's see if just going to here, I can pull one up that is a little more. That's a good one right there. There we go. So there you go. That's the performance Lyriq V, whatever. You can see the red calipers and a couple other things that are indicating that it is a performance model. So there you go. That's really cool news from Cadillac right there. Yeah, awesome to see. Now we're going to jump over to Jalopnik. These guys are hit and miss as far as whether or not I want to read them. They tend to kind of go to the ridiculous side a lot. But this one from Amber is really good. It's really pointing to something that didn't make a lot of mainstream news. I was really kind of surprised that I didn't see this in the mainstream much. But hackers have cracked Subaru's connected services and can pull all kinds of stuff and do all kinds of stuff. Not good. Subaru itself did put out a statement that I saw saying that they were working on it, they've closed the loopholes and blah blah blah. But really, yeah, it's a problem with Starlink, which is Subaru's setup. It's something that was and the fact that it was doing things that customers may not have known about, like tracking GPS locations and keeping that information for a lengthy period of time, probably was not a good thing to have come out. I am working on an article now that you'll see probably at Cowboy State Daily and maybe a version at Car Talk, where I talk about the things that your car does to kind of spy on you. These sorts of electronics information is worth money, and so anytime any company can collect information and sell it, they're going to. So this just highlighted that it happens at Subaru, but honestly happens at every single manufacturer. So, but this was a big deal because this really affected pretty much. It affected a very large portion of Subaru's customer base. Not necessarily the people that don't have Starlink, of course, older vehicle owners, that sort of thing, but a lot of people do opt in to these kind of services, and there you go. This is a huge gaping hole that every auto manufacturer has to be dealing with. So that's pretty big news, I think. Next, we're going to go to Green Car Congress. I subscribe to the daily log from this site that gives you all of the stuff that they published, and a lot of times it is small things that you wouldn't have paid attention to on the larger whole, but that over time those little things start adding up and making a difference, like giving you a perspective of the overall automotive industry, especially from the clean energy standpoint. So not just electrics, also hydrogen fuel cells, alternative fuels, that sort of thing. So this is a pretty big story that didn't make any automotive news that I saw, about Nissan buying up 20 gigawatt hours of ternary lithium-ion batteries from SK On. I don't know what ternary means, so I'm going to have to look that up. You'll have to look it up too, because I'm not going to look it up while I'm talking to you right here. But the fact that they bought so much is a big deal. Nissan is struggling, but they're very clearly still going on to that, pushing into that EV. They know they have to do it, and they're pretty good at it. The Leaf is a great vehicle. I'm sad to see it get canceled. The Ariya is pretty good. I don't see it as a replacement for the Leaf because it is far more expensive. But Nissan knows how to do electric vehicles. And then the fact with the possible Nissan and Honda merger, that's really what Honda would gain from getting Nissan, is their background in this sort of technology and the fact that they have these kind of connections and are making these kind of moves, buying that much in battery to make vehicles from. So that's just one of many. Nissan does not just buy from one company. Most automakers don't do that. But this is a big piece of news, especially given that the Nissan's electric vehicle sales are not in that 300,000 range that this is enough batteries for. But they're apparently planning on getting there. So there you go. Next up, we're staying at GCC. This is Hyundai and Kia, basically the same company, and Kim, the Korean Institute of Machinery and Materials. They have developed a 2-liter ammonia direct injection engine. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, and it probably isn't, because we probably will not see this in automotive in the US. But we may see this in other places. And then this engine, because of the size, a 2-liter engine is a pretty decent size to run a large range of vehicles and machinery. So really cool to see that here. And this is a alternative to going fully electric. It also would be pretty much right sized to be a good sized generator for a vehicle or something like that, even a large heavy duty vehicle. So very, very cool. Ammonia is not something that gets talked about too much as an alternative, but it's all over the place. It's a byproduct of a bunch of industrial processes. It's something that is readily available, and so it is cool to see this. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm wrapping it up here. That's basically most of the news for this week, stuff that I did not already cover here on the channel. So yeah, that's what I got. I'll see you on next week's. Talk to you again soon.